So logarithm of numbers less than 1. Generally, the logarithm of any number less than 1 or any number has two parts. So we have the whole number part and the whole number part, which is called the characteristics, and the fractional part, which is called the mantissa. Now, for example, this is the whole number part, while 0.3251 is the fractional part. So this fractional part is called the mantissa, while this whole number part is called the characteristics. Likewise, this particular example that has a 0 here, this 0 is called the characteristics, while 0.4531 is called the mantissa. So let's now see how to find the characteristics of the log of any number. Now, how to find the characteristics of the log of a number greater or less than 1? So there are two methods to this. So the first method is by standard form. So I wrote this example. Find the characteristics of the following: 451, 3.9, 49.78, 0.5, 0.0043. So recall that in standard form, this is how standard form used to be. That's a times 10 raised to the power of n. Now this n is the power, while a here is the number. Okay, so I wrote here a, where a is the number and n is the power. All right. Now when a number is written like this, that is 451, there's an imaginary decimal point where the number ends. There's an imaginary decimal point where the number ends. So if we move that decimal point to the first number, where the first number starts from, we have this. The points will be moved like this is 1, this is 2. So the point is moved just twice. So the point was here and it moved twice. So that's why the power here is 2. So that's why this is written as 4.51 times 10 to the power of 2, just like this. Now this power is the characteristics. You can see 2 here. Now likewise this. Now because this point cannot be shifted further because there's no number in front of 3 here. That's why this is 3.9 times 10 to the power of 0. It was not shifted at all. So the characteristics is now 0. Now in this case, the point is here. So if we now shift the point from this point to this place like this, we have 4.978 times 10 raised to the power of just 1. The point is moved just 1. That's why the characteristics here is 1. Now in this case where we have 0 before the real number, that is 5 here, this one is moved from the left to the right. Move from the left to the right. So the sign here is now what? Negative. And it's just moved once to this point. And we have this 5.0 times 10 to the power of minus 1. Now in this case also, this is moved. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So this is now 4.3 times 10 to the power of minus 3. Now minus 3 is seen as bar 3. This is bar 3. B-A-R, bar 3, which is the same thing as minus 3. And this is what? Bar 1, which is the same thing as what? Minus 1. So this is the first method in finding what the characteristics. Now the second method in finding characteristics is by counting. I prefer this particular method. You just look at the number and you count the individual digits. This is 1, 2, 3. In 451, we have 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. So that 3 digit minus 1, you have 3 minus 1, 3 minus 1, which is equal to 2. That means our characteristics is 2. Again, how many digits are here before the decimal point? Just 1. So 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1 gives us 0. So the characteristics is 0. Now, how many digits are here before the decimal point? We have 2. So 2 minus 1, we get 1 here. Now, in this case, zeros before numbers, you consider the zeros. How many zeros are there before the number? Just 1. So you have a bar 1. How many zeros are here before the number? You have just 3. So you have bar 3. So this is it. So let's move to the operations on bar. Now in operations on bar, when you are given question and you probably solve and you get a bar, and you have to add those product, you have to add them together. How do you go about it? So I wrote this question. This is bar 2.5 plus bar 3.7, and this is bar 1.2.24 plus bar 2.39. So if you add them together, this is the first one, which is what? Bar 2.5 plus bar 3.7. Now 5 plus 7 is 12. So write 2 here and carry 1, right? So bar 2 plus bar 3 is bar 5. Bar 2 plus bar 3 is bar 5. Now recall that bar 2 is same thing as minus 2. As bar 2 is same thing as minus 2. Also, bar 3 is same thing as what? Minus 3. So that bar 2 plus bar 3 gives us what? Bar 5. So bar 5, which is same thing as minus 5, plus the one that we carried initially outside, becomes what? Bar minus 4, which is equal to what? Bar 4. So that's why this is what? Bar 4. Now in this case, 4 plus 9 gives us what? 13. So write 3 and carry what? 1. Now 2 plus 3 is what? 5, plus that 1 gives us what? 6. So bar 1 plus bar 2 is just bar 3. So we have this like this. All right. So this is the minus part of it, and we also have okay, I want to do this now. 5 minus 7, it cannot, right? So we borrow 1 from here. Now this is already bar 3. If we borrow a 1 from this bar 3, it becomes bar 4. So that 1 is now added to this. This now is now 15. 15 minus 7 is 8. So this is now what? Bar 4. So bar 4 minus, now bar 4 minus bar 2 is equal to bar 2. How? Bar 4 is the same thing as what? Minus 4. So minus 4 minus minus 2 is equal to what? Now minus times minus is what? Plus. So we have minus 4 plus 2, which is equal to what? Minus 2, which is the same thing as what? Bar 2. So that's why this is what? Bar 2. Okay. So now the division is where students always have issues. Particularly, the division is where students always have issues. And if you're dividing bars, you're supposed to get a bar 1 or bar 2 at the end of the day as your answer. So if you get a 0 or you get another thing, you're wrong. So this particular case is straightforward. You have bar 2 here and the divisor is bar 2. This is 88. So you just divide. You can see the way I splitted them. This is bar 2 divided by 2, which is bar 1, and 0.88 divided by 2, which is 44, and we have bar 1.44. But in a case just like this, where you have a different divisor and a different bar here, how do you go about it? Now there's something we call a unique 0. Now this is the unique 0. Minus 1 plus 1 is a unique 0. So if that minus 1 plus 1 is added to the top, that's the numerator here, we get remember that minus 1 is the same thing as bar 1. So bar 1 now plus 1 plus bar 3.83. So if this bar 3 comes to with this bar 1, so we have a bar 1 plus what? Bar 3. So bar 1 plus bar 3 is now what? Bar 4, which is what I wrote here. So if I pull out this bar 3 here, I'm left with what? 0.8954. So 0.8954 plus 1 gives me what? 1.8954. So which is this? So if you divide them, this divided by 4 and this divided by 4. So this now gives you this, and this is what? Bar 1. So like I said, you are not supposed to get anything other than bar 1 or bar 2 if you are dividing as your final answer. Okay, so let's now do just an example to see how to solve a question on logarithm less than 1. Okay, this is an example. Evaluate the following. You have 0.4291 times 0.0268 times 31.23. Okay. Now, the question is given in multiplication. So at the end of the day, if you get the log of this, you get the log of this, you get the log of this, you add all of them together. All right. So in doing this, we draw a table, we write our numbers and our log, right? Now, remember, we said when we have 0 point something like this, that means the characteristics is what? Bar 1, because this is just 1 0. Likewise, this we have 2 zeros here. That means the characteristics is bar 2. Now, in this case, there are 2 digits here before the decimal point. That means you have 2 minus 1. That is 2 minus 1, which is equal to what? 1. So that means your characteristics is what? 1 point. That. All right. So the next thing is to find the mantissa in the log table. Find the mantissa in the log table. All right. Now, the question we ask ourselves is, what is 42 under 9 and in the difference of 1? What is 42 under 9 difference of what? 1. So you open to your 4-figure table or your log table. I'm using one of the log table in the textbook here. So now, where you have x in this particular column like this, you check 42. Guys, you can see logarithm of numbers. Check 42. This is down. Check, this is 30. This is 40. So this is 42. This is my 42 here. Check 42. Now, we are looking for what? 42 under 9. Now, if you look at this columns there, we have 0 down to what? 9. So check where this 9 is. Just check down to where we have a 42 line. That line where 42 is. So this is it. So 42 is 6325. So we write 6325 plus the difference. The difference is 1. You can see there's a difference here. There's a difference here. So where we have our 1 here, we now check down like this, and still on that same line where we have our 42, the difference is still 1. So we have plus 1. So if we add this, we have 2, 3, and 6. So that's why this is what? Bar 1.66326. So that is how you're going to do also this to get 42, 4281, and this. So at the end of the day, you add this and add this. So if we decide to add this together, we have what? 6 plus 1, which is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. So that's why you're seeing 3 here. So that is 13. You write 3 and carry 1. Also, 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. Plus the 1 outside is 15. So you have 5 here. Also, 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 9 is 14. 14 plus the 1 outside, 15, which is 5 here. You carry 1 again. Now, this is 6 plus 4, which is 10. 10 plus 4 again is 14, plus the 1 outside is what? 15. So you write 1 and carry 1. Now, this bar 1 plus bar 2 is bar 3, plus the 1 outside. Reduce it to what? Bar. So we have bar 1 plus what? Bar 2, which is equal to what? Bar 3. Now, plus 1 reduces to what? Bar 2. Plus this one now, plus 1 again, reduces to what? Bar 1. That's why the answer is what? Bar 1 point. So I want to show you how I got this using the anti-log table. So finally, we'll now go to the anti-log table. The anti-log table. So what are we checking? We're looking for what? 0.55 under 5 and a difference of 3. So also do the same thing under your x column here. You now check down to find what? 0.55. This is 49 here. This is 50. So this is our 55. This is our 55. So let me mark it. 0.55 under 5. So this is 5. So we'll now check down. That same line where 55 is, this the line. So we have 3589. I'll write it. 3589. Now the difference of 3. This is 3 here. Under difference. We'll check still on that same line where we have our 55. The difference is what? 2. So that means we'll add the 2 here plus. So 9 plus 2 is what? 11. So you write 1 and carry 1. Plus that 8, you have 9. 5 and 3. So that is how we got what? 3, 5, 9 and what? 1. So how did we get this 0 here? Now, if you notice, when I was looking for the antilog, I didn't mention this at all. So to get this particular 0, you add 1. You add 1 to this characteristics here. And remember that this number is what? Bar. Bar 1 here is what? -1. So -1 plus 1 is equal to what? 0. So that's why this is what? 0. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.